New York isn't just skyscrapers and sky-high rents. Hidden across the state are cities where your money stretches further than you ever imagined. Some places cost half, even a third, of the New York average, and yet they're packed with history, culture, and charm. These are the kinds of spots most people overlook. But once you see the numbers, you might question everything you thought you knew about living in New York. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're pulling back the curtain, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Now let's dive in. Let's kick things off with Buffalo, way up in western New York along the shores of Lake Erie. In 2025, the city's population is holding steady at around 272,000 people, making it the second largest city in the state. Here's what makes Buffalo stand out: affordability. While the statewide median home value hovers close to $500,000, homes in Buffalo average about $220,000. That's less than half of what you'd pay across New York. Rent follows the same pattern. One-bedroom apartments usually cost about 40% less than the state average. Overall, living in Buffalo will save you about 25% compared to the New York norm. Why is it so much cheaper? The big reason is that Buffalo hasn't faced the same population growth or real estate pressures as downstate areas. Add in revitalized neighborhoods, great food, and a strong sense of community, and Buffalo's affordability feels like a bonus. Let's head over to Rochester. Sitting right on Lake Ontario, Rochester is one of those cities that feels like it should get more attention. In 2025, the population is about 207,000 people, so it's a good-sized city, but still has that upstate charm. Now, here's the kicker. While the average home in New York State is pushing close to $500,000, Rochester homes often sit in the $150,000 to $300,000 range. That's a massive difference. Rent follows the same pattern. You'll pay far less here than you would anywhere near the city. Overall, the cost of living is roughly 20 to 30% lower than the state average. Why so cheap? Rochester's economy went through some ups and downs, and it never had the same kind of demand pressure as New York City. That makes it a fantastic option for anyone looking for affordability without giving up city life. Next up, Syracuse, a city known for its snowy winters and strong college basketball culture. In 2025, Syracuse is home to about 146,000 people. What makes Syracuse stand out is how far your money goes here. The median home price is right around $196,000. Compare that to New York's average of nearly $480,000, and you start to see why people call this one of the cheapest cities in the state. The cost of living overall is almost half of what you'd expect down in New York City, especially when it comes to rent. A one-bedroom in Syracuse might cost you around $1,200, while the same thing in New York City can easily top $4,000. The reason Syracuse is so affordable comes down to slower growth, an older housing stock, and less demand overall. For folks who want affordability plus a real community feel, Syracuse hits the mark. Now let's talk about Utica, tucked into the Mohawk Valley. This city has around 60,000 to 65,000 residents in 2025, so it's smaller, but it has a surprisingly rich cultural mix thanks to waves of immigrants who've moved here over the years. Housing prices? That's where Utica really shines. You can find homes in the $100,000 to $180,000 range pretty easily, which is a fraction of the statewide average. The cost of living here runs about 30 to 40% lower than New York overall, mostly because of cheaper housing and everyday expenses. Why is it so cheap? Utica has been through its share of economic challenges. Population growth is slow, job markets are steady but not booming, and there's simply not a ton of outside demand pushing up real estate prices. That all keeps things very affordable, making Utica a quiet but smart choice for anyone looking to save. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these cities has surprised you the most so far? Could you see yourself living in a place like this, or do you think the trade-offs aren't worth it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing your take, and it helps shape what we cover next. Maybe you'd like us to compare the cheapest places in another state, or even spotlight hidden gems in New York City itself. And while you're at it, Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're enjoying the journey. It really helps the channel grow. Down in the southern tier, we've got Binghamton. The city's population in 2025 is around 45,000 to 50,000, and it has that small city vibe where everyone seems to know each other. The housing here is incredibly affordable. You can still find houses anywhere from $80,000 to $200,000, which is almost unheard of compared to most of New York State. Overall, living costs are about 25 to 35% lower than the state average. The big reason Binghamton is cheaper is simple: demand just isn't that high. The area has seen population declines and slower job growth, so housing prices never skyrocketed. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're remote working or want a slower pace of life. You'll spend less on groceries, utilities, and taxes too. For people who want affordability and a community-driven atmosphere, Binghamton is a hidden gem. Let's move a little west to Elmira, another southern-tier city. Elmira's population is about 26,000 in 2025, so it's on the smaller side. But what it lacks in size, it makes up for in affordability. Homes here often sell for between $70,000 and $150,000. Yes, you heard that right, under $150K in New York State. The overall cost of living is 30 to 45% below the state average, which is huge if you're trying to stretch your dollar. So why is Elmira so cheap? The truth is, the local economy hasn't seen much growth, and the population has been pretty flat for years. That means housing demand stays low, and prices never take off. Everyday expenses like groceries and utilities are also more affordable here. Elmira might not have the job variety of a bigger city, but for budget-friendly living in a quiet setting, it's hard to beat. Just outside Utica, the Rome and Oneida area offers another pocket of affordability. Oneida County's population is around 230,000 to 240,000 in 2025, but the individual towns and cities are smaller and close-knit. Here, you'll find homes ranging from about $120,000 to $200,000, which is well under the New York average. The cost of living, including groceries and local taxes, is about 20 to 35% lower than statewide numbers. What makes this area cheaper is a combination of things: slower population growth, less demand from outside buyers, and longer commutes to major job centers. It doesn't have the red-hot housing market of downstate, which keeps things steady and affordable. That said, you still get plenty of amenities, restaurants, schools, and shops without the big city prices. For people who like a suburban or small-town lifestyle but still want access to services, Rome and Oneida are solid options. Finally, let's head to Glens Falls, sitting in the Adirondack foothills. The city itself has about 14,000 people, but the metro area is larger. Housing prices here usually fall in the $150,000 to $250,000 range, still comfortably below the New York average of nearly $480,000. The cost of living overall is 20 to 30% lower, especially when it comes to housing and day-to-day expenses. Glens Falls is cheaper mainly because it doesn't have the same influx of new residents or job market pressures that drive up costs elsewhere. The growth is steady, not explosive, and that keeps home values manageable. Plus, you're surrounded by natural beauty, so the value you get goes beyond just money. It's about lifestyle. If you're looking for an affordable place with access to outdoor adventures, Glens Falls is definitely one to keep on your radar. So there you have it, the 8 cheapest places to live in New York. From bustling Buffalo to quiet corners of the Adirondacks, the state is full of overlooked opportunities if you know where to look. Some of these cities are rebuilding, some are holding steady, but all of them give you a chance at a lifestyle that won't drain your wallet. If you found value here, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone dreaming of a fresh start. And remember, the next big move might be hiding in a place you never expected.